Alright, you guys, so today my dirt came, so I will be filling these beds. I have two, four, six, 8 beds here, about 9 beds that need to be filled, not like refilled all the way, but as the growing season goes by, the soil does break down a lot. So if I have my beds completely filled at the beginning of the season, the soil will break down over the season and be about maybe 4 to 6 inches less than it was in the beginning. Um, so I'm in zone 6A, 6B, sometimes 5, depending on the weather. I don't know. But today my soil came, so I gotta fill the beds. Usually do this by myself. Sometimes my son helps. He just moved all my pallets for me out of the way so I can get to the beds. But as you can see, they do have soil in them. It's just they need like a little extra. So we're gonna get started on this. It is very hard work. It's not easy, just so you know. But this, getting all my beds and everything prepped provides, perfect growing conditions for my fruits, vegetables, and everything else that I grow in my garden. All right, you guys. So, using this trolley or garden cart, it holds, they said online, up to 200 pounds. But I only fill this up halfway or three-fourths of the way because my yard has like a lot of hills and downs. And, I don't want to push 200 pounds up and I don't want 200 pounds going down while I'm holding it. Like, that's just, I'm a short person. Okay. I don't want to fall down. It's not gonna look good. Okay, but yeah, we're going to fill up or top off a lot of these beds. As you could see, some of them need more soil than others. Some look a mess. This one I put in leaves because I will be growing a lot of my leafy greens in there. It does have a lot of soil in there. I just put in about 2 inches worth of leaves and twigs in there, which helps with moisture retention for like lettuces and leafy greens like kales and things like that, herbs and stuff. So they don't mind having that in there. But if you have a new garden bed, I do suggest doing a filler before you add soil. It will help with the cost of soil, especially if you're not in an area where you can get a bulk order of soil like I have here. I have 3 yards, which is 27 cubic feet per yard. Most bags of soil you buy are 1 cubic feet, maybe 1.5. So pretty much every yard of soil that I have is about 27 bags of soil, pretty much. So this is what the soil looks like up close. There's chunks of cow manure. There's chunks of mushroom compost, the mycelium, that little gray webbing you see. That's the mycelium. The soil smells amazing. And I do suggest not to buy the if you see those bags of soil, they some of them will be in a green bag, a purple bag, and all of that, and it will say garden soil. Make sure you ask the store where you're buying from if you can return the bag. Only because I've noticed that a lot of the new bags of soil that is being advertised as healthy garden soil or whatever is basically partially composted with chips with some fertilizer and a dash of dirt. It's not even like real soil. I figured this out because I bought a couple of bags on clearance. That's the only time I would buy this type of soil. And it wasn't soil, it was mulch with fertilizer in it and a dash of soil. And it was the original price for one of these bags that I had bought was $9.99, and I got it for 50% off or 75% off. Ended up paying like $3.50 or $3 or something like that for the bag. And when I took it out of the bag, when I dumped it, it was wood chips with a bit of fertilizer and a dash of soil or something that looked like soil. So I would suggest you buy the black cow manure or the compost slash cow manure mix. It comes in a white bag and it has like a red line on it. It is at Lowe's and I believe it is 229 or 298, one of those. The prices have changed. Get that bag, and get one bag of um, not one bag, but get that bag and get one bag of topsoil that's a white bag with a green line, and you mix your own. It actually works out cheaper and you get more soil, like actual soil. But if in your area the soil that they're using is partially composted wood chips and you see that in the bag, when you open it, don't just dump it. Look in there first. If you see that, just bring it back to the store. Okay. In my area, when I get the compost manure mix and the topsoil in the white bag, and the white bag with the green line and the white bag with the red line, it's perfectly fine. But some parts of the country, every state has a different place of where I guess they're getting the soil to package it up for you guys. So I can't be 100% accurate with it being the same exact thing in your state, but always check with the store, see if you could return the soil, if it's wood chips. Okay. I've tried growing stuff in that fancy pants bag of wood chips with a little bit of fertilizer, and it was hot garbage. Plants did not grow big, they were stunted, roots weren't developing right, and it kept drying out terribly. So that's why I suggest getting the cow manure compost mix and getting the topsoil and mixing it yourself. Yes, it is a bit of work, but it will actually be just soil and not a bunch of wood chips. Okay. All right. So yeah, in between me topping off the beds and filling them, I will take a little break here and there. Not sitting down or anything, like I'll go do other things. I'll go rake my walkways. My walkways are very narrow. Some of my walkways are only maybe a foot and a half wide. Some are, close to 2 feet wide, but I try not to make them too wide because I want to use all my space to grow. So sometimes I have a hard time moving around my little garden cart in here, and I have to empty half of it with the shovel or spade or whatever you guys call it, and then I'll pick it up and dump the rest in and move it around with my rake or whatever you guys call it, because apparently certain things I call one thing, you guys call a different thing. Where I'm from, the rakes, we call it a harak. Okay, there's the straight harak and the regular harak. I call it a harak. Um, but yeah, so I just used that to move the soil around. For a little break, I took some time to prune my peach tree that I planted 3.5 years ago. This tree was actually shorter than me 3.5 years ago, you guys. It literally was a twig. When I planted it, my toddler was still like super baby. She was in a stroller. She came to say hi, and her and my middle daughter were playing, looking for dragons or something. So I finished pruning up the peach tree and removing any unnecessary branches that it had. It should be blooming soon. It has so many buds on it. Okay, but I went back to filling up more of the beds. And if the video looks weird, it keeps flipping, like the screen keeps flipping how the image looks. So sorry about that. But yeah, these beds have a little bit of dried leaves and old plants from last year, non-disease ridden plants. Don't leave any plants with disease in the garden beds, okay? It's just going to cause more problems. So if it has a disease, burn it, throw it in the trash. But the plants I left in here were healthy plants, and I just let them dry up. Most of them were just pepper plants, and they just act as natural organic material to break down over time to feed my soil and in turn feed my plants. It also helps with moisture retention in the soil. Another little break I took, I used it to fertilize all my garlic with some 10-10-10 fertilizer, and then I went back to fill up the rest of my garden beds, and I was done for the day. I was out here for about 4 to 5 hours, you guys. Like, I am exhausted. Exhausted. I was able to top off all the beds, and I finished just in time because I got an alert that we were supposed to get rain. The rain did not come, just so you know. The weather has been kind of bipolar, but whatever. So just wanted to show you some things that are growing. This is red vein sorrel. It's a type of spinach, but can also be used as an herb. Has a very lemony, citrusy flavor. Goes well in burritos, tacos, and all of that. And then I had some Vietnam celery or Filipino celery. I think it's Vietnam celery that was gifted to me by Garden of Zen on Instagram, and some chocolate mint that is coming up. So this is how the garden bed looked before, and this is how it looks now. This side of my garden is looking awesome, ready to go. The other side still needs time. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon in another video. Bye, guys.